I have a question. Do you want me to spotlight my video or do you want to just have the gallery up today?
Spotlight.
Spotlight
Spotlight?
the video.
Spotlight.
Okay.
Your video.
Is that Mr. Merrick? Oh, just in time. Want to say good morning? No, I haven't started class yet. Do you want to start? Yeah. Hold on. Good morning. Yeah, come right back. I'll do a little start and you can come when you're ready, okay? All right. Take a moment just to center yourself however that feels right for you. Hands in your heart, one on your belly, one on your chest. Just show up to your body today. Feel your feet. Tune to your breathing. Show up to this practice to align your body. When your body is aligned in all the proper ways, we let go of limitations that might be causing pain or discomfort and things that are distracting from your purpose. So being able to show up to this practice to allow the bones and muscles and ligaments and joints to all line up like they're supposed to is a beautiful way to start the day. Find your breath, fully in, fully out. Okay, Merrick's going to come in and start class for us today. Go ahead and stand on the mat. How about just reach to the sky?
Today, we're gonna start with some jumping jacks.
Whoa, right off the bat. Okay, see him on the side?
Yeah.
Anything else? How about a balance?
A balance on one foot.
Balance on one foot. Woo! Other foot. Can you get more steady? Awesome. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, jumping jacks. Right off the bat. Strong arms, strong shoulders, feet pointed straight ahead. Go into shoulder shrugs. Feel your rib cage get stable over your pelvis. Slide your shoulders up to your ears and press them down. 10 times. Getting the shoulder girdle just to elevate and depress. Feel how you can take a deeper, fuller breath as you bring the shoulders up and down. And then into a shoulder roll up and forward and around. and backwards. Bring your hands to your fingers to palms into golfer's grip, right to your temples, elbow curls all the way together and all the way back for 20. Letting the shoulder blade come around your rib cage and then moving toward the back, collarbones get wide, big and open in your chest. Feeling that hinge. And 20. Good. Hold your arms just slightly away from the shoulder. Go into that external rotation. If you have a wall that you can step back to, go ahead and step back to that wall. Coming all the way back and all the way in. Head to the wall, ribs to the wall, butt to the wall. Feeling all of your low joints just line up. And then reach to the sky, all the way up. Letting the shoulders lift a little bit. Letting the shoulder blades wing out toward your armpits at the bottom. And then elbows come down and then shoulders come down. Feel that separate action happen. Lift, full breath. Notice the tendency to go into that extension, but keep your ribs right over your pelvis for now. Strong, stable spinal position as you move the arms and shoulder girdle. Differentiating these movements are part of what we are after in this practice. Being able to move the right thing at the right time without that compensation. That means you need plenty of abdominal support right now. Two more. Excellent. Take a step forward. Fingers to palms, arms out to the side, into arm circles, elbows strong and straight, circle forward, 40 circles. And palms up, backwards. And 40, right into windmill. Arms out to the side, collarbones stay wide, reaching over toward the floor, pull down with the side body, lift with this top ribs. Inhale, exhale over, inhale, lift. Exhale over, inhale, lift, exhale over, inhale, lift. Take your feet wider, same thing. Hug your legs in toward the midline. Exhale over. Inhale up. Exhale over. Inhale up. Letting that lateral flexion of your spine happen. Making space for the vertebrae. Making space for the shoulder to glide over your rib cage. Wider one more time. Take it pretty far out there. One of the reasons we take your feet out this far is so that the abduction of the legs and the hip joint starts to change the position of the pelvis. So if you had some kind of hip disparity, a rotation of the hip and the pelvis, or a difference in height, then as you abduct the legs, it's way harder to keep it. So now feel your feet hug to the midline again. Turn on that whole inner thigh. And then once more, exhale over. Inhale, lift. Exhale over. Inhale, lift. Last one here. And then back in. Feet really straight, hip bone distance apart. And last ones, over and up. And just feel the difference from the first ones that you just did. Even get your neck into it a little bit. Let your head go over to the side, letting your head lead that action, lifting the top side of your neck up. Feeling that underside pull down. Excellent. Into footwork, feet pointed straight on the floor, up onto your toes, 10 times. Now turning your feet out, letting the entire leg rotate at the hip, turn them out as far as they'll go, and then squeeze toward the midline again, lift and lower. So that whole leg boat is turning in the hip socket, changing any alignment difference in the pelvis. Up, find your balance, strong ankles. And then pigeon toe your feet, toes together, roll the weight to the inside of your feet. All the way from that inner heel, feel the whole leg turn, even up to the inside of your hip bones in here, that iliacus part of the psoas that helps to rotate that. Feel that, and then get strong and straight through your torso, and then up and down. Back to straight. This time I want you to come up onto your toes. So find that balance, and then really strong and stable spine. Move down into a mini squat, and then stand back up. Then drop your heels. Lift your heels, knees bent, sit back, up, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, press. Lower your heels. Lift, lower, lift, down. Couple more. Up, down, up, down. Up, sitting back, up, down. Excellent. Okay, now just standing there, arms out to the side, feet straight. Find your balance on one leg. Shifting all the force down into, let's say, left leg. Stand on your left leg. Taking the right leg out to the side. Slowly with no momentum. Lift and lower. 10 of these. Strong and stable spine, keeping it as vertical as possible. And switch sides. Excellent. Turn, taking the first leg back, putting the knees straight down to the floor, keeping your pelvis in neutral, knowing that as you go up, it's likely to have your pelvis want to tip forward. So keep it really stable and neutral. Knee back, and then lift and lower. Lift and lower. Hold on, wait, we gotta finish this one. Do you want to do this one with us? Good, switch feet, stand in balance, and then pull the other side up, keeping your pelvis stable. Hamstring curls, finding the muscles that flex the knee and extend the hip. Okay, can you do another standing balance like tree pose? Or do you have something else in mind?
Something else in mind.
Okay. Go ahead, one more today.
The split.
Not yet. We're not ready for it.
Okay.
Something standing and balancing. Can you bring your leg up like this and then move it out to the side
I got it.
and back in?
No. One arm up. This leg up. On this leg and this arm.
So you're both arms up. No, we're not going down yet. We're staying on our feet.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, look, they've got arms up and legs up. You can see. Both arms up, both legs up. One leg up. Find your balance and hold it. Whoa. Switch sides. Okay. Thank you. All right. Back into your standing balance. Right knee in towards your chest. So into hip flexion. We did some hip extension a second ago. And now just rotate that leg out to the side and bring it back in. Try to keep everything else stable as you do that. So just wide and then back to center. Wide and back to center. And release it down. Second side. Up, out, center, down. Hip flex, Laterally rotate, center, release. Keep it going. Excellent. Standing with one foot directly in front of the other, we're going to go into inline glute contractions. So as if you're on a balance beam, hug to the midline, and then focus on your butt muscles. Put the weight evenly on both feet, and then squeeze and release your glutes. Tighten and release and get both sides to show up to the party. Squeeze and release. And switch feet, one foot in front of the other, finding your balance, bringing your weight as even as possible, and then squeeze, release. How is a comment? Is everybody else having connection problems? Just unmute you for a second.
It
Are
says
people's
your
connections okay today?
network bandwidth is low. It says
Yeah,
Kyla
you're
Wong's
very-
network
you
bandwidth
freeze.
is low.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And I have you freezing. I have your picture freezing. I can
Yeah.
hear you a little bit.
Yeah. Mine freezes too.
And it says your network bandwidth is low.
Yeah, I'm not sure why that is, but
Yeah.
okay. I'll try to fix that for tomorrow. Sorry about that.
When you talk, it seems to catch up. The video seems to catch up.
Okay.
Yeah. This damn technology.
I know, right?
Yes. Grateful to have the technology.
Yes,
We're lucky to have it be together.
we are.
So true.
We are.
Okay, I'm going back to quiet. Okay, come down onto your hands and knees for cats and dogs. Let's see if I can bring this down. Tuck your tailbone round your back. Go wide through your shoulder blades, but not so wide that it gets tight in the front. Push them off your back. Let your head come down. Lift your tailbone. Let the movement come into your back. Squeeze your shoulder blades. Lift your head. Round and arch. One more. And then come down onto your back. Feet on the floor, knees bent. Reach your arms up over your head. Let's use that shoulder position that we played with the other day. So one hand back towards you, one hand away from you, and then go over in a pullover and back up and over. Let's just do 5 of those slowly, keeping your head, your middle back, and your pelvis down on the floor with a slight space for your low back. You could engage the back side of your body by gently pressing your feet to the floor and pulling your heels towards your bottom. And that will just turn on those hip extensors a little bit. One more here. Back to neutral, and then flip your hands opposite up and opposite away from you. And then take it over. And then back up. One more, and then both hands facing each other. 5 more like that. Pull over and back to center. That should let both shoulders be even on your back. Find the appropriate width for your collarbones so that they are wide, the shoulder blades are a little bit wide, and they're down into the floor. The shoulder blade again has to do a little bit of movement as your arm comes up over your head to come out toward the side of your body. But we want to find balance so it doesn't come out too far. Just enough space so there's freedom in the top of the shoulder instead of impingement. And then bring your arms around, bring both feet up into a table position. From here, I want you to exhale, flex, come up, curling up, hold it, and then release your upper body down and release your legs down. Bring them up to a table one at a time or both together. Then exhale, crunch. Keeping some slight space in the low back still. Tailbone heavy toward the floor. Peel your upper body up. Feel your ribs pull towards your hip bones. Release it down. Release your legs. Again, lift. Crunch. Hold. Release. Release your legs. Lift them up. Crunch. Hold. Release your upper body. Release your legs. 2 more. Lift. Crunch. Breathe. Tailbone side heavy. Curl up a little more. Release. Lower down. Last one. Lift. Crunch. Hold. Release. Lower your legs. Both feet to the floor. Pelvic tilts, rock your pelvis backward and forward, letting it move in between the leg bones, keeping the leg bones really stable. Flatten your back to the floor, getting all the low belly to really work, and then lift, getting the hip flexors to pull you forward and the back muscles on the back side also to work those lumbar extensors, extending the spine back and forth. And then go into knee drops. Take your feet wider than your hips and go both to the right and both to the left. And let it massage in your low back where all of those ligaments connect in there. Tendons hold muscles to bone, ligaments hold bone to bone. all of those places between the sacrum and the pelvis. A lot of that stabilization is by the ligaments. All right, let's come back to neutral. Take it all the way down to your feet again. Rocking chair up on your toes, back on your heels. All the way up and all the way back. Connecting from the foot all the way at the big toes and the arch of your foot all the way back into the ankle, into the knee, up and down. Bringing fresh blood into that area. Now cross your right ankle over your left knee, pull that leg up, and then point and flex that foot. So we're just using gravity. Tailbone side heavy to the floor still, right knee pressing away from you. Flex your ankle back so that your ankle is connected into the lower leg and that's connected into your knee on the cross leg, and then point and flex 10 times with that more straight leg. And release it down, switching sides, crossing the left over the right, pull it up. Flex the left foot so that the left ankle is going into the knee, that's going into the hip. Rotation in the hip and stability at the knee. And then right leg, point and flex 10 times. Tailbone side of your body still heavy. Slight arch in your low back. That wants to go away probably as your legs come up, but I want you to emphasize it. So keep it down so that you stay in neutral even here. And then bottom of your feet together, let the knees drop out to the side into that frog position. Then lift your hips off the floor, up and down. Let's do 20 of these. Lift and lower, really get those glutes to turn on. Still pay attention to the position of your shoulders and neck. Soften any tension that might exist there. See if you can really get your shoulder blades to lie flat on your back. I have that as 18, 19, and 20. Bring your legs in, stretch both of them out. We're going to go right into a crocodile twist. Both legs straight, arms straight out from your shoulders, and turn your palms down. Bring your left heel on top of your right toes. From that left heel, start to turn that leg so that it's internally rotating, and you're going all the way over, up into this hip, into the obliques. Let it turn your head to the left, squeeze your butt muscles, and hold it. Hold it and breathe. Crocodile twists are great for helping to drop a hip. If you have an elevated hip or a pelvis that's a little bit out of alignment, or if there's rotation in your rib cage. So all you golfers out there, this is great for resetting the spine, resetting your pelvis, so that you can go play some more holes. Two more deep breaths, fully in, fully out. squeeze those muscles in your torso, fully in, fully out, back to center. Right heel, left toes, then take your awareness again to the inner heel of your right leg. Let that turn the leg all the way up into the pelvis, into your shoulders. Squeeze your bum, tighten your thighs, and breathe. Last breath, fully in, fully out, and untwist. Back to your hands and knees, round and arch your back, cats and dogs. And then come to this split leg position. Right foot forward, left foot back. I'm going to stay with rotations for a moment. So just hanging out on this leg right here is making that hip work in a different way, lengthening the muscles in the front. If you have a tight hip flexor or a quad, just hanging out here can ask that muscle to lengthen. From here, I want you to bring your arms up and out, and then you're going to rotate toward this right leg, turning your body, and imagine you're pulling that right elbow back and pressing that left hand forward, and then coming back to neutral. Breathe, and then rotate, elbow goes back, hand goes forward, and come back to neutral. Moving through that, squeeze the muscles in your torso to twist and come back. Rotate all the way from the pelvis back to neutral, and again. Good. Now take this leg forward and go ahead and come down, both hands to the inside of your mat, lowering your elbow down toward the floor, and just take a moment for that hip to open. Add the breath. And come on up. Split leg. Left foot forward, right leg back. Feel your hips get square. Feel the work that it takes to just be on that right leg. In neutral. And then arms up. Pulling the left elbow back, pushing the right hand forward. Twist your spine. Breathe. Back to neutral. Now it's easy to go into that extension here, but I want you to keep a little bit of tailbone down toward the floor tension so that you stay in a neutral position as you pull that arm back and press this front one forward. And then come back and press, twist, neutral, press, neutral, press, neutral, press. Shoulder blades are having to work, the spine is having to work, your oblique muscles are having to work, and this split hip position is a challenge. Nice. Bring that front foot a little forward, both hands to the inside of your mat, and just give your hips some open, lengthened space Breathe. And then come on out of that and have a seat, legs out straight. Hands behind you, sit as tall as you can, open your shoulders, femur rotations all the way out, all the way in. Femur rotations can reposition the hip in the socket, can change the position of the pelvis in relationship to the hip, go wider. It can be stabilizing for an SI joint because the hip is moving more like it's supposed to. And I would say that this is not the first thing I would do for people with degenerative hips because it could be grindy in the hip. Wider again. Think of getting good lubrication though in that joint so that we can maintain that healthy hip spin in the socket. And then take your legs all the way wide. Arms out to the side. Hook one hand underneath your leg and take it over. Thighs tight, feet pulled back. Open up your upper body, reaching toward your foot, and breathe. Up and over to the other side. First side again. Into that QLO stretch. Maybe this time you go a little bit farther. See if you can look up toward the ceiling on the inside of that shoulder. So pull your elbow back enough that you can see up there. See if you can open your ribs and shoulders a little bit more. Come on up. Second side. If your elbow is way forward, see if you can open that up a little more so that it is working in that shoulder as well. Notice the difference between the two sides. And back to center. Nice, come onto your back. This time make sure you have your block and your strap close. Want your block to be held like this or something to squeeze, and then sit tall. We're going to do a full crunch or full sit up all the way down, all the way up. Tuck your tailbone. Go ahead and roll it all the way down. Reach your arms over your head. Squeeze in on that block. Coming all the way back up to flat back. You got it. Good. Tuck your tailbone. Roll. One vertebra at a time. Reach. Exhale. Come on up. All the way to neutral. Good. Feel your feet on the floor. Let that help you engage the backside of your body. Roll it down. Lift. All the way up. 2 more. And then take it down and place that block right between your knees. Neutral pelvis, neutral spine, arms out to the side. Squeeze and release the block at your knees. Find the inner thigh muscles, adductors. Squeeze, release. You could even pigeon toe your feet a little bit to help that internal rotation happen at the leg bone slightly. The muscles on the pelvis, glute medius and minimus, internal rotators also helping get those adductors to work. Shoulders underneath you, spine in neutral. My kitty's joining us again. This is Shiloh. Okay. Place your block down to the side. Grab your strap. Place your strap with both feet in. And then back down on the floor. Press out against the strap. Press and release. Getting the abductors, muscles on the outside of the hip, to work. Stabilizing. Do about 20 of those. Now, pressing out on the strap, keeping your pelvis in neutral. So watch that you don't get more flat to the floor as you do this. Pull your knees into your chest. Stretch your legs up toward the ceiling. Bend them down. Release it all the way down. Just a hip movement. Out with the strap. In with your knees. Press to the ceiling. Down and release. Pull backs. Let's do 10 of these. Last one. Excellent. Go ahead and release the strap. And then roll onto your side. Make your knees go straight down. You can be up on your elbow or up on your hand for this one, your choice. I want you to take a deep breath up, lift your hips off the floor, and then come back down. So whatever feels better, wrist or elbow for this one for you. Lift and lower. Breathing, lift and lower. And switch sides. Lift and lower. And then back to hands and knees. Hands on the floor or elbows if your wrists don't want to do this. And then walk your knees behind your hips and just press up to a plank. Hold, pull your feet to your hands. Hold for 10 seconds. And release your knees back down. Take a moment to breathe. Press it up. Hold. 10-second hold, fingertips on the ground, thumb and pinky finger squeezing toward each other, stable through your hands. Release it down. And then feel into your shoulders this time and really find not collapsed in your shoulders so they're winging, but rib cage pressed up against your shoulder blades and wide at your collarbones. Press it up again. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release it down. Come down onto your belly. Reach both arms out in front of you into your floor block, hands in fists, thumbs up to the sky, and rotate your upper arm bone out. Feel your ribs tuck underneath you so that you have that little bit of rounding in your upper back. From the inner thigh or inner heel all the way up the leg, let the legs turn outward. Turn inward, heels go outward. Pigeon toe. Let your head just release down onto the ground. Find your breath, big full breaths. Fully in, fully out. Ribs stay tucked. Fully in, bring the breath to the back body. Fully out. Find length underneath that armpit if you need to. Fully in, fully out. Again, fully in, fully out. And release. Arms out to the corners of your mat. Rotate them out there. Hold it. Ribs stay tucked again. Bring the breath into the back body. Fully in. Fully out. 3 more like that. In. Out. Think of that exchange of gases. Getting the good stuff, exchanging the used up stuff. Changing the pH of your body as good oxygen comes in, making it more alkaline. making it easier for it to heal. And then take your arms straight out from your shoulders. Last position. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Rotating your arms back. Pigeon toeing your feet. Connecting through your whole body. And release. Press up onto your hands and knees. Come into an assisted runner stretch. You could have a chair in front of you or nothing. You choose. Bringing your knee directly in front of your, touching your heel, tuck your back toes under and press it up. Let there be length in the hamstring. If you want to put a chair in front of you and put your hands on the chair, that's totally fine. Switch your feet. Working both legs straight. Square your hips, back hip forward, front hip pulling back. And then into your downward facing dog pose. And then come into whatever position you'd like to be in for a little relaxation. Into your static back or just legs out on the floor. Just take a moment to turn back into your own breathing. Turn your attention to the love and care and joy that we get from our bodies, how it moves us through this world. Just take a moment in gratitude for all that your body does for you. I'm going to give you 1 minute to just be in the silence. If you want to stay in the silence, of course, just mute your computer or turn it off, as I will bring everybody back. So just today, in gratitude for our amazing bodies and all the things that it does for us and all the way that it functions perfectly and beautifully without us knowing anything, and the support that we can give it by doing these practices. With one deep, grateful breath, I will bring you back around.